tashtile sane Vienna Austria ne tashtile mambuyo ni nyegi surla thanda England ne pebegi posa lo nishu chiba Sean. Hi.
Hello.
Nga thari mixe gi Sean nyegi thagamna la theya gi gyumjin di thanda anzu sangme gi hakoya TikTok la app chirwa kana gi app di nyanga chibu khachu yo nimani ni shushu banangshi app di khala wata injina la shu na boycott chi goya kechimbu imba di ki kola yis ra ta ni ki shira shu mewa che kurangi sunge di chama injina sungre mani tagam shimbash na la ngarangi kone pege na la gyuni shu yis ra ni pegalo pretty bad. So Sean, great to have you here.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
Yeah, Sean, could you please tell a bit about or as much as possible about TikTok, which happens to be a Chinese app?
Oh yeah.
Please.
Yeah, I just, being a young man growing up in this generation, the likes of TikTok, as well as Instagram, Snapchat, there's many different social media platforms. I think TikTok is probably the biggest one. And it's not like very good because of course these apps, they're all run by China, and
Yeah.
they are encrypted to people's brains and to manipulate them, especially in Western society, because I've done a little bit of research and I've spoken to a few people who are actually Chinese as well. And, if you were to, I guarantee if you were to go to China and you were to look at a phone of a Chinese person and go onto their TikTok app, you'll most likely see that there'll be time limits to how long they can stay on the app. And the actual content itself, it's going to be good things or positive things, educational purposes and stuff like that. Now, if you take a person's phone from Western society and you go on their TikTok app, for there'll be endless scrolling. You can scroll for whenever you want, however long you want to. And, the content that is on a Western society TikTok, it's programmed to basically show off, for example, things that just aren't necessarily good in society or really benefit society. Like, how many, I can't tell you how many, women, young women especially, who just, they show no clothing, they act inappropriately, they have no respect for themselves. And firstly, it's not good for them because, they are not, they're not respecting themselves, as I said. And, men see this and they are irrational. Like, it's very, I don't know exactly what to say, just very unholy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of racism, I guess, a lot of jokes and just things that don't benefit society anyway, in any way. And it's used by China, in my opinion at least, to brainwash Western society and make the people numb. Because through every second that you scroll, it's dopamine release, dopamine release, dopamine release. And that should come, dopamine, it should come from, positive things. Where you get up in the morning, you can meditate, you can exercise, all healthy things. But what China have done is they've created these types of social platforms where you can scroll and scroll and scroll, and that's your dopamine release, and you get more dumb and dumber and dumber constantly.
Yeah.
Especially with male, like I said, with women, it's a lot of young girls and disrespecting themselves online, and showing nudity or close to nudity, which is not good. And then the male side of things, I would say, in my opinion, that these things are making men weaker, because whereas, you can talk about the last World War, men from 16 to 18 to older were fighting for their country. With a lot of young men nowadays who scroll through the likes of TikTok or Instagram or whatever, you'd look at them and think, how is it that we had soldiers back in the day and now we have people who just do nothing and just sit on their phones? And it's literally thanks to China. That is the answer. You can look, not only that, but they steal your data too. I don't know too much about it, but you can do research like how TikTok steal your data, and it will show you like your address and what you search and things like that to feed more of it to you, and just keep you manipulated and keep you hypnotized into consumerism. And yeah, I guess I could think of more, but that's off the top of my head and from a bit of research, a bit of experience. I don't have TikTok myself, and I will never download it because even Instagram, I do have this, to be fair, and it's just highly addictive. And you look at this society and you look at the Chinese, you'll see a major difference. And people need to wake up and see the signs. I mean, this device, it comes from there. So yeah.
Do you think China is deliberately doing this?
Of course they are, because if they make the women stupid and the men weak, it's easier for them to dominate, because of course they want to take over the world. I mean, if you have common sense, you'll know. And
So, what can we do about this?
What can we do? I mean, just boycott. Yeah, we shouldn't use these platforms. I mean, and anyone who's listening to me right now and says no, it's not good for your brain anyway, and that's the intention of it, if you really think it. So don't use those apps. Don't and forget social media for 1 second. Of course, you have to boycott their products as well. There are other things I could talk about. It's not good. So just boycott them completely. And start being more positive, and stop doing drugs and alcohol. If you do any of that, stop it. Just be healthy and be happy. And don't girls need to respect themselves more, and men need to do so by not being hypnotized and becoming weaker and weaker each generation. We need to understand what's going on just from a mobile phone, as well as other things, and be stronger and fight the power, become powerful in order to be the rising power of them, I guess.
Wanted to ask you what you think about China's occupation of Tibet, and what can the world do to save the Tibetan people?
Oof, well, I don't know. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of people watching will know 50, 100% more of the history than me. I only watched 7 years in Tibet, so I can't say I know everything.
But it's similar to what happened in Germany, right?
Genocide
of the Jews and all this.
You can definitely compare it to the Nazis. I mean, they are the modern day Nazis, if you really think about it. They're doing it more silently. I mean, look, I'll use me as an example of a person of Western society. I didn't even know about China taking over Tibet until Rinchen told me about it. They tell you about the Nazis in the school books, but they don't tell you about this. It's not like they're taking over silently. It was first Tibet. Now there's other countries too. Soon potentially India, if you look into it properly. Although it will be hard for you to do that because China control a lot of the internet, where they're able to hide this stuff. But I think of course, any country being taken over unwillingly is not good. That was once somebody's home. It was once your home. It was, you know, and you know, they came in with their big guns and their big egos and kicked everybody out or murdered, and it's not good. Of course, it's not good. And the way to, I don't know, as I said, in my opinion, in order to stop them would be to fight fire with fire and bring the violence. But it depends on the religion and the type of person we talk, the type of people we are talking about here. But I think the best way to stop them, if it's not boycotting, of course, would be to literally fight them with the artillery they're using to take over the world slowly.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right. You have any question?
No, I have something to say to the question you said before. I think the best way to fight against China is by making them financially weak, because right now China is economic world power, and a lot of economic transactions, income and outcome depend on China, because they've built up this power over the centuries. And that's why they can have so many soldiers, that's why they have so many weapons, they have the money for all of that. If we stop their income by not buying their products anymore, they will become financially weaker, which will be a profit for us Tibetans and actually for the rest of the world, because China is aiming a one power politic. If they had all the power, they would have already taken over way more countries than what is right now. You can see this at the example of Hong Kong, Taiwan, Tibet, East Turkestan.
Yeah, right.
And the best thing you can do as a singular person, even though you think there's not much you can do, is to stop buying those products and stop using anything which could be an income to them, also such as something like TikTok, because TikTok is just spoiling your brain, and it makes us weaker, as Sean said. And in China, what is funny is that the TikToks which are shown there, they are providing good education, they provide nutrition, they provide sport TikToks. They are there to help the Chinese civilians. Whereas for us in Western society, what comes is stupid nudity, makeup, a lot of girls just doing makeup which has no value at all.
Yeah, I mean, really think about it. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know, look at the world and what's happening to it, and if you don't stop now, look at yourself. Look at where you'll be in 10 years' time, 20 years' time, even 30 years' time.
Yeah.
The world will be a big red flag with China written across it. Yeah, I think it's the reason I personally said violence is the way is because although I've recently learned that the boycotting is working a little bit and they're slowly declining, I think society of Western is pretty doomed. I don't think it's I don't think it's so effective, the boycotting thing at the moment, because I mean, it's definitely working. I just think they have so much influence over products, manufacturing, and as I've heard, you know, that they're finding new ways to get through it, like sending it to another country, and then like, so it says made in India, and then it goes to so that's one way that they're finding ways, you know. It's easy to say boycott, but they're smart, they know what's going on, and they're still one step ahead. Otherwise, we'd already be on the brink of making them financially unstable, and you know, I think they're far from this, to be honest.
Yeah, I have one question. Any of you? Some Tibetans seem to have this illusion that by being nice to China
Mhm.
and the Chinese people, that we will get our human rights back, that we get our rights back, and that China will improve it's how it treats the Tibetans in Tibet. Well, what do you think about this?
I think that's absolute horse crap, if you don't mind me saying, because have they done any of this? And how many years has it been? Is the country free?
Yeah.
What? Look at what they're doing. Look at what else? Who other people other countries they've taken over, including Tibet. What's changed? How is it getting better in any way? It's not. And if we were to let them continue how they are, they'll do this to the whole world. If they had the chance to take over the US, if the US didn't have as much power, they'd do that. Nothing's going to get better with the invasions of China. It's just going to get much worse.
Yeah.
I mean, surely, I think maybe some people do believe it, but it could also be, and I can't speak for them, but maybe it's like a calming thought to think that. But
Yeah.
let's look at the signs. It's not
Yeah.
not true.
Yeah.
For me, to answer those questions, I have two questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, number one, just a logical question to all the people who think they can fight China back with peace. How do you think will the outcome be if you fight a power which uses violence with peace?
Yeah.
And secondly, in history, for all the Tibetans, you should know that one time China promised us, there was a declaration of us being an autonomous country, of us being allowed to keep our culture and to keep on with our traditions and practice our culture openly. And is this the case now? It isn't. So asking yourself this question is not very logical if you use your brain.
Yeah. So you got the answers to my questions. Thank you very much. We're going to stop here today. Probably, I hope to have more videos with you. Sean.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm the best camera speaker, but fair enough. Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm glad to be here. Yeah.
Thank you, Sean, and
No problem.
thank you, Rinchen.
No problem.
Okay. Have a great day, night, wherever you are. Free Tibet.
Free Tibet.
Free Tibet.